Charlie Chan used to have a thing he used to say back in the old days. Said, "Ah, so." Things have changed a lot since Charlie's days. Global communications are dynamic. The one thing you must remember that this global thing is fairly new. Never before in history has the world been able to communicate so completely as it can today. Just look at it. The Romans thought they had conquered the world, but what did they really conquer? The Mediterranean Sea. Oh, I hear you, they conquered Europe. Hey, Hitler did that, and he did it in less time. Attila the Hun, same deal. He didn't even conquer Rome, and he died in bed with a teenage girl. I, for one, am impressed, okay? And it's gone all the way down like that through history, up till now. People are used to governments being the powerhouse of the world stage, but you know there's a new kid on the block. It's called the corporation. Governments, kings, and unions are ruled by the power of armies. And let's not forget to throw in religion, okay? Along about 600 AD or so, when the Romans were desperately trying to learn German, Muhammad comes screaming out of the desert with a new flavor, and he figured if he could just get everybody on a rug facing Mecca, that he could virtually erase national boundaries. Then came the Holy Roman Empire, followed suit, and by 1000 AD, we had two factions all suited up and embarked on what really amounted to World War I. Now, I hate to say this about my noble ancestors, but Europeans are an unstable flock of pricks. Oh, they look down their noses pretty good now with gun control, free marijuana, and lots of polite talk about how bad the Americans are. But we learn from the best. I watched the most interesting video last night. It was a time-lapse thing showing how the European borders had changed over the last 1,000 years or so. And brothers and sisters, the most stable time was when Hitler was in control. Imagine that. With this latest push about the Ukraine about a year or so ago, the lamestream media tried to make it look as though it was something new. You look across somebody's border and say, oops, somebody over there is speaking Russian, so that's mine. And this isn't restricted just to Russia. Oh, no. You have the Roman Empire, the British Empire, and the American Empire. You may swat them bees now. And Americans are like roaches. And once you get roaches, you hardly ever get rid of them. But Americans haven't learned anything through history. They haven't learned anything. When you defend your borders, that's cool. When you defend someone else's border, that's not so much. You will be hard-pressed to find a single area on the globe where there is not an American presence of some kind. And it's all very politically correct, of course. Americans have an uncanny knack of peeing down someone's back and trying to tell them it's raining. Meanwhile, while worrying about Russia, Americans' borders are less secure than Disneyland. But while the white folk are worried about the price of vodka, there is a group of people slowly rising, getting ready, and slipping onto the world stage through a back door. The Chinese. Now wait, before you start laughing and call me a Texas redneck, hear me out. Within one lifetime, China has evolved. Back in the 1930s and 40s, the Japanese kicked their butts all over the Gobi Desert. It was like a little skinny kid slapping the fat boy on the schoolyard, and the fat boy stands there crying and sucking snot. And just think about it. China has really never invaded anybody. In fact, they're famous for building walls to keep people out of their country. Well, in the words of Bob Dylan, times they are changing. We of European descent invented the corporation. The Chinese took it to the nth degree. China doesn't have an economy. Their economy is whatever the chairman tells them it is. So when you value the dollar up against the yen, you basically have a sliding scale. The yen comes across as a poor cousin. Only problem is the yen's buying stuff. The Chinese are buying America. The same little yellow guys who built the railroads that span the continent are now bidding for them. And Americans are too greedy or too stupid to notice. Who controls Long Beach, the only deepwater port in the West Coast? Look it up. Check it out. Who completed just now the largest corporate sale in the last 5 years? Have a bowl of rice. When did these guys stop being communists? Anyway, I digress. There's only one teeny tiny little bump in the Manchurian Highway, and that's Texas. Our old-fashioned racist, redneck, tobacco-chewing, gun-toting population of nationalists cast a jaundiced eye toward all these Yankee shenanigans. There are three types of people that are slipping over the border right now. First, of course, you got the Mexicans, then the Central Americans, but the third largest group is the Chinese. So on one hand, you have them trying to buy Los Angeles, and on the other hand, you have a whole new flavor of wetbacks coming across the border. The Texas nationalist movement is more American than you might imagine. We actually believe in things like borders, real money, mommy and daddy, hot apple pie, and then there's that nasty old Constitution. When Texas secedes, we won't even have to write a Constitution. We'll just use theirs. We're not doing anything with it right now. While the Nortes are picking from one from column B and two from column A and paying for it by selling their souls, the Texas contingent is drawing a very politically incorrect line in the sand. When it comes down to it, the Republic of Texas become a reality. The western United States will have a choice. They will eat rice or they will eat steak. I frankly don't know. I look at California and I see men marrying men, women marrying women, and dogs marrying cats. And I really can't see that bunch of wineheads doing a whole lot of anything. Oh, by the way, dudes, you need to check out the Chinese philosophy on homosexuality. Most people with any common sense are migrating to Texas as I write. Shucks, Ireland just put an embassy in Austin. Toyota, Cars, Junior, you name it. They're all coming here. And Uncle Remus over in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue can't figure that out. The lines are being drawn, people. You can't run away. Texas is the last bastion of liberty left. We don't intend to sell or give it away. Yeah, okay. Lone Star beer and moon pies. We have a real good time. So... click.